But to be crystal clear, at this point in the process, if you're doing this for real, you are going to go ahead and click mail me my code, okay? All right, but we're going to continue so I can kind of go on to the next thing here. All right, so welcome to Google My Business. I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, so a lot of things are going to happen here. There's a lot of information in here for you to look at, okay? But what I want you to know is you can go ahead and start adding some things to this before it's verified, okay? And so that's what we're going to do now, all right? So we have this information will not go live until we verify, but we can go ahead and get started now, all right? So as you see here, there is a nice little wizard that's going to walk you through this, all right? So you see here it says your profile is 40% complete, all right? So we'll go ahead and click next, okay? And next, next, okay, all right. So looks like the wizard is not going to launch, so sorry about that. Typically it'll launch a wizard asking you to do these things. So let's go ahead and do this next, all right? Add a profile picture, all right? So the profile picture is the one, let me cancel, that's going to go right here, all right? Now this back here is the cover photo or the background image, all right? So these are two different things. So when you add the profile photo, typically, this is going to be something that, you can use like your logo. You can use, if it's a professional, let's say, it's a doctor, a dentist, or lawyer or something, you could use a nice, headshot of that person. All right. And so you're going to want to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and again, I'm not really going to publish this. So I'll show you just some stuff, just kind of, so we can kind of go through the things. All right. So, all right, here's a nice picture. All right, so I'm going to upload this picture. All right, it's too small, of course. All right, let me find a bigger one. All right, here we go. That one looks a little bit better. Hopefully this is going to pass muster. Nope, still not going to pass muster. Okay, guys, it has to be 250 by 250. So you can save yourself some aggravation by having all your graphics kind of formatted ahead of time. And so, I'm going to just hopefully pick a picture here that's going to be big enough so we can do this demonstration. So hopefully this won't take too long. But there's really nothing to this actually but, to do it, okay? So you just want to find a good image and go ahead and upload it. And looks like this is just going to take a while, of course, because I'm doing this live. So that's what happens when you do things live. All right. So I don't know how long this is going to take. But to it, I'm going to hit cancel here because we've got bigger fish to fry. So for sake of demonstration, you're just going to have a nice image here. 250 by 250 is what it needs to be in size. And you are going to upload it, okay? So the next thing, I'm going to go ahead and click on edit here. All right, so the first thing that you want to verify, and always double check this because it's so important, you want to manually verify name, address, and phone number, okay? You want to make sure that you do that. So you want to go back here and you want to match these things up, okay? Very important to do that, all right? You want to make sure that, again, that everything in here you're going to fill out completely, all right? So here it says website URL. One thing that gets messed up a lot here is some people put the wrong version, okay? This is a www version, the subdomain, so we want to make sure that we put that, all right? It's very important. www.elevatedroofing.com and the same URL without www is seen by Google as two different sites, okay? So make sure you use the version that is on the website, okay? Email address. Now, this is going to be the email address for the business, okay? So this is not going to be the one that you created in Gmail, all right? So, whatever they've got, sales, info, contact, whatever you want, right, is what you're going to put here, okay? All right, so we're going to click save. All right, so next thing, we see our categories good. Hours of operation, you definitely want to do that. Click edit. And the nice thing about this is they've put in a nice little standard kind of a deal. So we'll say that 9 to 5 is weekdays is when we're open. All right. And so see how it closed Sunday and Saturday. Because when people visit this page, it's actually going to tell them, is the business open, is the business closed, once the listing goes live. Okay. Introduction. Click to add an intro about your business. Okay. So this is a very important part of what you want to put here. So there's some keys to this. So number one, you want to fill this out with a decent amount of content, okay? But think more of it as sales content or conversion content than SEO content, okay? Do not go in here and keyword stuff. Do not go in here and category stuff, okay? Don't do any of that stuff, all right? Your business should have a kind of a standard kind of a spiel that they use when they do marketing material. So, they should already have this for you. This is one of the things that you'll ask a new client for, okay? So what it'll look like is something like this, okay? It'll look like something like, we are the premier roofing company in Frisco, Texas, okay? And then you're just going to say some stuff, you're going to mention some of the products and services that you offer. We've been in business for X number of years. You can list some things like we're a member of the Better Business Bureau, we're the member of Chamber of Commerce, okay? And then you can list some of the services that you offer, okay? So the thing is, you want to make sure that this is filled out, fairly well. And again, you can sprinkle some related keywords into here, but don't keyword stuff, okay? Do not try to repeat Frisco Roofing over and over again or Frisco Roofing Company over and over again, all right? Also, don't try to stuff the niche or the location in there. So don't try to say Frisco a bunch of times. Or don't try to say, roofing a bunch of times, all right? Try to make this look natural. Play like this is, a sales pitch because that's what it's for, all right? So if someone lands on this, your Google My Business page, a potential client, then think of it as, this is what you'd want to say to them, if you were there in person, right? You'd want to say, we're the best roofing company in Frisco, and we've been in business for 20 years, and we are insured, and we're licensed, and we're members of the Better Business Bureau. We're members of the Chamber of Commerce. We do residential roofing. We do business roofing. We do commercial roofing, yada, 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 right? Okay. And so that's what you want to put there. So for time, again, I'm just going to make that short, all right? But you want to, put a pretty good amount of content in here. All right, and this needs to be unique content. All right, don't just grab it from their website. All right, so as you'll see here, that's pretty much it. All right, that's pretty much it for this part. All right, so I'm going to click the Done Editing button here, and it's going to take me back here. Again, things I want you to remember. I know I'm saying this over and over again, but guys, I can't tell you, as long as I've been doing this and teaching this, I keep seeing people make the same mistake over and over again. They make the mistake of not having the right name, address, and phone number, okay? You got to make sure that those things are right, okay? You just have to, okay? Make sure that the URL is good, all right? So as far as this listing, it's almost done. One more thing that we want to do, there's a button here, Manage Photos, all right? And so one of the things, and Google changed this actually about 2 months ago. All right, so there's actually some new things that you can do with this now. You see here where it says profile photo, logo. You can actually tell Google like kind of which is which that you want, and you can change your cover here. Okay, so in here you're going to put a profile photo. Then here you're going to put your logo, and here you're going to put your cover photo. Okay. This has some interior photos, okay, and exterior photos at work, okay? So these are organized into categories, okay? So what you want to do is you want to have some pictures in each one of these categories, okay? And there's some great examples in here. You want to make sure when you're doing this, you want to make sure that the pictures that you use are pictures that you have license to, or common license, right? You don't want to steal images. That can get you in trouble. So, you need to make sure that you own the rights to the images that you use, or that you're using Creative Commons images, okay? And if you're not sure what that means or where to find them, just ask in the Facebook group and we'll help you out, okay? But there's places online where you can get, images for free, all right? So the key to this, guys, one thing I want to point out to you, you want to fill these out as much as possible, okay? And you want to make sure that these photos that you're using, that they have, some keyword, names in them, okay? So they don't have to be, again, we're not going to keyword stuff here, okay? We're not going to name, every image on our site Frisco Roofing, okay? That would be bad. But what we want to do is we want to make sure at a minimum that we're doing some basic image optimization, all right? So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. So, I'll take, let me just take this image here, all right? This is a nice picture of Tony Romo, I think, all right? So if this was your image, you would right-click on it, okay? Go to Properties, okay? And then you're going to go to Detail. And inside of Detail, you're going to see a whole bunch of different things in here, all right? And so like here where it says Title, you can add a title, right? So we could call this image, a roofer working in Frisco, Texas, right? Okay, as an example, okay? Now that's putting a long tail version or a related keyword in here, but we're not just calling this picture Frisco Roofing, right? Okay, so this is something that you can do, all right, to make these a little bit more, powerful. Now, there's some other things you can do with this too that we're going to talk about in future training. But for right now, what you're going to want to do is just make sure you have a good title, okay? You can also add some tags if you want, all right? And so you're going to click Apply and you're going to click OK. And it knows that image is related to, your topic, which is something that's good, okay? So if we were going to then upload that image, we want to make sure that all these images we upload have some good titles in there, okay? And remember, one of the main purposes for the titles and the alt tags of images is for people who are sight impaired, okay? So, when you're on certain websites and you see images on a page and see how I mouse over that, it says Contact Elevated Roofing. What that's actually for is for people who are sight impaired, their computer will actually read that to them, okay? So if they can't see that picture, when they mouse over that, it says Contact Elevated Roofing. Now, so that kind of explains what this picture is about, right? But you don't want to name this Frisco Roofing, right? That's just keyword stuffing, right? So this says Contact Elevated Roofing. So that's fine. So, but you want to make sure that you have these for all of your images, okay? So I hope that makes sense. You want to make sure that you have these for all of your images, all right? So once these are all done, and you simply are just going to upload these, just like you would anything else, just like we tried to do before, okay? And it was just taking a little bit longer. But again, the key to this, make sure that you have some nice title tags for them, and make sure that you max this out, okay? And remember, your cover photo especially, right? Your cover photo is going to be the big image in the back, right? So your cover photo is going to be this background right here, okay? So this is really important from a conversion perspective, all right? You want to do something that really represents the business well. So, if this is a roofing company, this may be, maybe a picture of the front of their headquarters, right? Or it may be a picture of some people, some workers on a roof, putting on a roof, okay? You want it to be something that makes it where someone that lands on this can instantly identify your business with what you sell, the product or service, okay? All right, so guys, there's going to be more optimization stuff that we're going to go through down the road, all right? So we're not completely done with this. But, again, as I told you, we're doing things in steps. So for right now, that's all we want to do. Now, one thing I do want to mention, as it shows here, it says Manage Your Business on, you can use Apple or Google Play. There's a free app, and I suggest you get that app, and let me tell you why. The app basically gives you access to a bunch of the features in here, but one of the ones that you really want to have access to is the reviews. So once you have verified this account, when you download the app, there's a review section. It looks very much, like this in the app. And what'll happen is whenever someone leaves a review for you, you're going to get a notification, all right? So that's going to give you or your client the opportunity to go and make sure that's a good review, or if it's a bad review, that they can go ahead and respond to that, all right? So, guys, what we've talked about today as a summary, we have talked about the utmost importance of NAP and how it's absolutely essential to your local ranking. NAP, again, is name, address, phone number, all right? And we have talked about setting up and doing a basic optimization of Google My Business, all right? So once you're done with this section, you should have your name, address, and phone number on your website. If it's a single location, it should be in a site-wide footer on every page. If you have a multiple location, then the location that you're targeting for this Google My Business will have the name and address and phone number on it, okay? So if it's, let's say that you have one of your cities is Plano, Texas, then for each location, you're going to have a Google My Business account for it, okay? Each separate location will have its own separate account and its own separate page with name, address, and phone number, okay? And we'll go through this more again in the course, but up to this point, you should now be able to go ahead and get your NAP correct on your website using one of the two ways that I mentioned, and you should now be able to go ahead and go through and set up Google My Business, all right? And that is going to be it for this training. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.